Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michael Tureen, and I am a class coordinator and instructor of police for the 287th Basic Training class. At this time, I would ask you to join me in welcoming today's graduates, the 287th Basic Training class. Members of the 287th Basic Training class, and ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and direct your attention to the Salina Police Department Honor Guard as they present the colors and the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. 287th, you may be seated. The Wall of Honor was designed as a reminder for those KLETC graduates who have died in the line of duty. The names and photos of the 29 individuals memorialized preserve their memories and give family, friends, and law enforcement officers the opportunity to remember those that have made the ultimate sacrifice in service to the citizens of Kansas. At this time, we'll observe a moment of silence to honor those KLETC graduates no longer with us. Thank you. Members of the 287th Basic Training class, you've made it to the day you've been waiting 17 long weeks for graduation. Before you leave, I want to share some information as you continue forward with this profession. Learning is an ongoing process and has 4 zones. There's the comfort zone where you feel safe and feel in control. The fear zone is next, where you lose that comfort and you move more worried about every part of what you're learning. Moving past the fear zone, you're in the learning zone. This is a building of new skills and becoming more confident with how to use them. The last zone is the growth zone. It takes a lot of determination and willpower to get to the growth zone. It has been an honor to see each of you put in the effort to get to the growth zone, both in individual skills and for the full 14 weeks of training. Whether it was firearms, driving, processing stress, or just communicating with others, you each have moved into the growth zone. Most importantly, you did it with the support of your family, friends, and classmates. I have some news for you, though. The cycle starts all over with your new skills. It is up to you to keep up the drive. You must continue to show the humility and open mindedness to improve yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally. Pele said, "Success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you are doing or learning to do. Your accomplishments over the past 14 weeks are no accident. Keep up the success moving forward." I wish each of you a successful, happy, safe, and healthy career. You have chosen to answer the call to join the noble career of law enforcement. And most importantly, you need to know you've got this. On behalf of the KLETC administration and everyone at KLETC, congratulations on completing basic training. It is my pleasure to introduce today's commencement speaker. Chief Daryl Atterbury began his law enforcement career with the Wichita Police Department in October of 1981. During his time with the Wichita Police Department, Chief Atterbury advanced through the police department as a police officer, detective, crime lab investigator, sergeant, lieutenant, and captain. In May of 2014, Chief Atterbury retired from the Wichita Police Department after accepting the position of Chief of Police for the Bel Air Police Department, where, for the past 7 years, he has served the Bel Air community. Chief Atterbury has been married for 37 years to his wonderful wife, Joni. He continues to be a serving member of the Sedgwick County Forensic Science Center Advisory Board, governor at large for the Kansas Peace Officers Association, and legislative chair for the Kansas Association of Chiefs of Police. He is a graduate of session number 271 of the Federal Bureau of Investigation's National Academy. Chief Atterbury earned his undergraduate degree in economics and a master's degree in public administration, both from Wichita State University. Ladies and gentlemen, Bel Air Police Chief Daryl Atterbury.
Good afternoon, Executive Director Beck, KLET staff, family, friends of the graduates, ladies and gentlemen, most importantly, the members of Class 287. Thank you for having me here. I want to thank each and every one of you for stepping up, making the decision to sacrifice and serve in the noble police work that you're going to do in the future. During your time at KLETC, you've received training that has been intense, grueling, arduous, exhausting, but of a very high caliber. It has all been to prepare you for your road ahead. The KLETC staff and trainers have given their best so that you will become capable, skilled, excellent members of law enforcement in today's communities. You had physical training, classroom instruction, simulations, practice sessions, all with the goal of preparing you to be the best and to do the increasingly difficult and utterly essential job of enforcing laws in your home agency, state of Kansas, and the nation. You have learned, fought, sweat, bled through your training. You have been pushed mentally and physically. and you've been challenged time and time again. You've earned the right to be here. Now we need you to be outstanding, to work hard, and to demonstrate great integrity in the execution of your duties. Our profession and our citizens deserve that. I would like now to take a few moments to talk about one of my favorite sayings. You know, there are a lot of sayings in police work, and one might be, "The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are bold as a lion." That's Proverbs 28:1. Do what you can with all you have, wherever you are. Theodore Roosevelt. One of my favorites, and this is for Chief Hooper back here, you don't have to have all the big expensive toys. You just need friends with big expensive toys, right? That's from Pastor Mike Evans, a friend of mine. And then what I'm going to talk about today is do the right thing at the right time for the right reasons. So for about 40 years ago, before most of you were born, I was fresh out of my academy class with the Wichita Police Department. My father-in-law commented to my wife that I was like a kid in a candy store trying to do everything at once and learn everything and be involved in everything. I was like a kid trying to wear out all the toys in that candy or the toy store. And as you've heard, I went through the ranks at the Wichita Police Department. But today, in this position of police chief, I'm here in no small measure, but due to an uncompromising adherence to a moral and ethical principle or principles that were instilled in me and by people who I've worked with in the past. I am confident that you will do the same as I did. It's your turn now. You need to watch the people around you and learn from them. Watch the best of those people and learn what they do. Internalize that. But I found that having small sayings can also help you, and those sayings you can grab as your own and use them in day-to-day activities. They can be beneficial. You're going to be challenged as you go out. You'll be tempted. You might find yourself in difficult situations, but I implore you to always remember your duty to your community, your family, your teammates, yourself. Never, ever compromise your integrity, because if you lose it, it's going to be very hard, if not impossible, to regain. So, my saying, do the right thing at the right time for the right reasons. Do the right thing. This is a guiding principle for all of your decisions. Is what you're doing legal, ethical, and moral? Those are things to ask yourself all the time. You have to ask yourself, am I following the law? Am I doing what is conforming to accepted principles of right and wrong? Is the decision I'm making holding to the highest principles of proper conduct? You can do that. You can ask yourself those questions. Please do. Sadly, we regularly see headlines and hear news stories about some in our profession who've lost their way. And you have to ask yourself all the time, am I doing the right thing? A resource that's available to you through Kansas Sea Post is the Integrity Bulletin. Please go to the Sea Post website, read it. Find examples where your brothers and sisters in law enforcement have not done the things that they were supposed to, and see the consequences they went through as a result of those actions. Ask yourself the question, not about just the small things, but the big things. Are you arriving to work on time? Are you writing reports that are good and professional, that tell the story, that are needed for good prosecutions of criminals? Do you have the intestinal fortitude to correct a coworker who is straying from our noble path? Doing the right thing is a big thing. Doing the right thing at the right time. Timing is also important to our success in law enforcement. You've all been trained in the basics of law enforcement. After today, you'll be given the opportunity to use that training combined with your life experience. There will be a moment in time at that intersection of training and opportunity when you'll be able to prove yourself. This is when your success is going to be measured by others and yourself. So, when faced with a difficult situation, you'll need to respond professionally, as you've all been trained. We pray you will. Now, again, this is not for big stuff, small stuff, all decisions you make. There are going to be thousands of decisions that you'll make all the time. And I'll use one example during my time here, and that is, say you see a car go through a stop sign, and you stop that car, and you find a novice driver. They were nervous about driving for the first time. They're nervous now because you stopped them. This is your opportunity to work with that extremely nervous youth and maybe help them with their view of law enforcement and their driving habits in the future. Because writing a ticket is a discretionary act on your part. Do you use it as a teaching moment at that time or not? It's up to you. I'm not telling you what to do, but you'll know at that time. The decision you make is important. Timing is absolutely important in big events. Major traffic crashes, violent events, people going through mental health crisis, which we're seeing more of. The question is, does that intersection of training and opportunity result in the best possible outcome? And I don't mean somebody's idea of the perfect outcome. I mean an outcome where the good people are safe and we win. Remember, oftentimes these big events are not visually or factually pleasant. And another saying that comes to mind is, there is no elegant way to protect sheep from hungry wolves. Okay, and those of you who have heard from Colonel Dave Grossman will know what I'm talking about. The question is, did you perform your tasks reasonably, with professionalism, with as much poise as was possible in that given situation? And then, doing the right thing at the right time for the right reasons. When I got into law enforcement, my desire was to help people. I still feel that way right now. And I had the opportunity in my career to sit on a lot of hiring boards. And nearly every applicant seeking employment in our field desires to do that same thing, and that's to help people, to make the world better. Law enforcement officers, remember this, are people too. Don't forget it. We're problem solvers, we're resource finders, and in your quest to help people, do it for the right reasons. It can't be for accolades, awards, although those things may come. You need to exercise this profession to help make people, society better, one person, one call at a time. You'll be better for it. And please, if you ever start to doubt your motives, talk to someone, anyone, reevaluate. Remember that most of our society is good. We just happen to work in a profession that we also work with those people who are struggling to realize good. Okay. After a while, you can become cynical and jaded. It's a fact. So I feel the need to suggest a book for you and your families. I know that you have been exposed to this book, right? Head nods? Yeah. Okay. And this is Emotional Survival for Law Enforcement, a guide for officers and their families. It's by Dr. Kevin Gilmartin. And this is a good guide to help officers and their families with the struggles that come up in our profession and our family lives associated with law enforcement. It's only 188 pages, quick read, but it's very good. In closing, these are troubling times we find ourselves in. Life is full of many challenges, and the world we live in is far from perfect, but I have the utmost faith in Class 287. I believe that you will make your communities better and safer, and I think you will be shining examples of the professionalism that we expect. I believe that we can depend on you, and I believe that you're all going to make us proud. Always give your best, work hard, and demonstrate integrity in all that you do. Always strive to do the right thing at the right time for the right reasons. We're all counting on you. Remember that. Congratulations. Be safe out there, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Chief Atterbury, on behalf of the 287th Basic Training Class, please accept this plaque as a thank you for taking the time out of your day to share your thoughts and with the class and the graduates. Thank you. At KLETC, we recognize those student officers who have excelled in various professional skill sets during the basic training. Firearms Top Shooter Award recognizes the student officer from the 287th Basic Training Class for their firearms proficiency. Chase Turner of the Bourbon County Sheriff's Office, please join me at the podium. Deputy Turner has showed great skill and proficiency through both firearms qualifications and during the tactical shooting drills. Shooting is a perishable skill and truly requires constant effort to maintain your abilities, and you have shown how practice and effort pays off. Well done. Deputy Turner, this medal is awarded to you for being the top shot for the 287th Basic Training Class. Please join me in congratulating Deputy Turner for this accomplishment. KLETC recognizes student officers who excel in academics by placing them on the Director's Honor Roll. To be placed on the Director's Honor Roll is a substantial accomplishment. A student officer must achieve a total average on the written examinations of 94% or higher. As a further honor, the student officer with the Director's Honor Roll with the highest overall academic score is awarded the Larry Welch Award for Academic Excellence. This award is named after former KLETC Director and retired Kansas Bureau of Investigations Director Larry Welch. On behalf of the instructors and staff at KLETC, it is my privilege to announce Deputy Adam Jacobs of the Pawnee County Sheriff's Office is the recipient of the Larry Welch Award for Academic Excellence for the 287th Basic Training Class. Deputy Jacobs, please join me at the podium. Deputy Jacobs, with his permission, I'm allowed to tell you his final average was a 94.68. Please join me in recognizing Deputy Jacobs on this achievement. It is now time for the class president for the 287th Basic Training Class to deliver a few brief remarks on behalf of the graduating class. Ladies and gentlemen, the 287th Basic Training Class President, Officer William Buttram of the Baldwin City Police Department.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center Class of 287 graduation ceremony. I know I speak for the entire class when I say that we are all extremely happy that after much anticipation, this day has finally arrived. We would like to thank each and every one of you in attendance for celebrating with us today. Chiefs, sheriffs, department heads, and coworkers, we'd like to thank you for selecting us to represent your agencies and our communities. Thank you to our families, friends, and loved ones in attendance today. Thank you for the sacrifices that you have also made over the last 14 weeks. We know how hard it is to be apart from your loved ones, and your sacrifices have not gone unnoticed. I know that we could not have done this without your love and support. Also, a special thank you to our class coordinator, Mr. Tureen, and all of the instructors that spent countless hours teaching us, giving us feedback, and preparing us for success so that we can better serve our agencies and our communities. Next, I would like to thank all of my fellow classmates for allowing me the opportunity to represent them. It's been over 14 weeks since we all arrived here at the Academy. We have faced a plethora of challenges together during our time here at KLETC. We overcame the elements while responding during 70-mile-an-hour winds, shooting in the freezing rain, and driving on icy roads. I know many of us were nervous and maybe not very confident in our abilities in the first few weeks of the Academy. However, As time went on, we all became more confident and learned through the guidance of our instructors, the repetitions during our scenarios, and the feedback that we received. I would also like to challenge the class of 287 to continue their path of learning after we leave this academy. Continue to grow personally and professionally and academically. What you have learned in your time here is just a stepping stone in your law enforcement careers. Remember the resiliency plans to remind you of why you chose this path, what is important to you, and who you can lean on during hard times. Not everyone has what it takes to do police work in the world we live in today. The people on the stage here in front of you have answered that call to represent our communities with integrity, character, and courage. Edgar Allan Poe wrote, "Courage was never designed for show. It isn't a thing that can come and go. It's written in victory and defeat, and every trial a man may meet. It's part of his hours, his days, and his years, back of his smiles and behind his tears. Courage is more than a daring deed. It's the breath of life and a strong man's creed." We have overcome many obstacles, but we will face more throughout our careers. Always remember to have the courage to protect the weak, but don't be afraid to challenge those who are strong when they are wrong. Use what you've learned and keep on learning. Practice our skills and be safe. Law enforcement is not a job, it is a calling. We've committed ourselves to that responsibility. Now let's go do it justice. Thank you.
It's my pleasure on behalf of the KLETC administration and staff to present you with this plaque as an appreciation and recognition for you being the 287th Basic Training Class President. In law enforcement, ethics is at the forefront of training and our profession. The law enforcement oath of office affirmation is a constant reminder of the importance of always doing the right thing. This is always something we've discussed in depth during your time here at KLETC. The ultimate purpose of law enforcement is public service. A law enforcement officer assumes a great responsibility when they affirm the oath of office. They have entered the position of being role models, leading by example. They are enforcers of the law and protectors over our communities. I'll now ask Class President William Buttram to lead the class in reciting the Law Enforcement Oath of Office affirmation. In a few moments, you'll be presented with a challenge coin. A challenge coin is a very symbolic and meaningful item and are given to someone as a reminder of what they've done or to confirm membership in an organization. This coin today will recognize you as a graduate of KLETC. I ask that you carry it with you as a reminder of the lessons learned and the friendships forged during your time here at KLETC. On the back of this coin is the oath that each of you affirmed moments ago. Carry it with you and let it be a constant reminder of always doing the right thing. Graduates, it's been an honor and a distinct pleasure to be your class coordinator and a small part of your journey. I wish you nothing but success and happiness in the future. I will now ask KLETC Associate Director Alvin Sowers to join me on the stage to present the members of the 287th Basic Training Class with their certificates, while I present each of you with a KLETC Challenge coin. Class President William Buttram will announce the names.
First row, please stand. Kenneth Carlberg, Neodesha Police Department. Gentry Chance, Sumner County Sheriff's Office. Gage Clark, Neosho County Sheriff's Office. Michael Craven, St. John's Police Department. Dane Danninger, Butler County Sheriff's Office. Kevin Goodrum, Bourbon County Sheriff's Office. Grant Greenwood, Bel Air Police Department. Eric Grennis, University of Kansas Medical Center Police Department. First row, please return to your seats. First row, please be seated. Second row, please stand. Bailey Ham, Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks. Alana Hanson, Fort Hays State University Police Department. Lon Hurst, Junction City Police Department. Adam Jacobs, Pawnee County Sheriff's Office. Christopher Kelso, Great Bend Police Department. Keenan Lambert, Leavenworth County Sheriff's Office. Manuel Luna, Hutchinson Police Department. Second row, please return to your seats. Second row, please be seated. Third row, please stand. Andrew Peniston, Butler County Sheriff's Office. Colton Pennington, Pittsburgh Police Department. Chase Pennerman, Wichita County Sheriff's Office. Victor Ramos, Leavenworth Police Department. Jared Seal, Pittsburgh Police Department. Michael Thompson, Parsons Police Department. Chase Turner, Bourbon County Sheriff's Office. Jessica White, University of Kansas Medical Center Police Department.
And William Buttram of the Baldwin City Police Department. Third row, you can return to your seats. And third row, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank each one of you for coming to the graduation ceremony today. And to our administrators and the fellow coworkers out there, we appreciate your attendance as well. We know they appreciate your support. So in a minute here, I'm going to ask the class to stand and I will bless them as Kansas law enforcement officers. Each one of them have worked really hard, and you heard class coordinator Tareen talk about 17 weeks and then 14 weeks. The 17 weeks is because they had the Thanksgiving break and the Christmas break built into that. So they've been here a long time, but not the longest of any class. So they still got a ways to go. So class 287, please stand. On behalf of Director Beck, I hereby certify that each of you have satisfactorily completed the requirements to be law enforcement officers in the state of Kansas. And for the words this class has been waiting 17 weeks for is class dismissed.